inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher, unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no, real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because mental muscle is necessary for implementing successful business strategies. It's time to learn how to beat your business no matter what life throws at you. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we discuss the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. What up? Okay, back in the place. All right, some of y'all might be like, hey, hold up, August. Where you been? So, been going through transitions, and y'all already know how I am, but summertime is almost over. Some of you are getting back into your business groove. Me, I stay in mine, but I had to really sit in some things before I came back with the podcast and try to come back before prematurely. But nevertheless, I am here. The podcast isn't going anywhere, just in case some of you were wondering. But there are almost 500 episodes, so there's plenty of vittles for you all to chime into, going all the way back to November 6, 2017. Whoop, whoop, almost a year number 4. But enough about me. What's going on, queens? And hello to the kings, you too, that happened to chime in. Listen, man, I had a session with a client and I had to call her out on her shit. Hey, that's what I do all the time, right? Well, let me share some of the nuggets from this conversation. You know, the bottom line is that this individual is very much in their head game. You know, they look at, their business and they look at the structure, the procedures, the process. It's like me saying, okay, step 1, I'm going to do this with this person. Step 2, I'm going to do that with that person. And step 3, step 4. Listen, we're dealing with people. It's got to be an organic experience because they're living organisms. You have to be creative enough when you're creating products and services to be able to see the things that are foundational, but create something where it provides the possibility for a very fluid experience. And that means that you have to get into an imaginary place where you actually see what you expect to happen. Yes, indeedy. Listen, you have to say it and see it before you receive it. And many of you want to receive it so that you can say it and see it, but it ain't going to never happen that way. Anything and everything that has ever come into existence has always come into existence because it was a visual first, it was spoken second, and it manifested third. I mean, for those of you that are Christians, that's even what your God did, right? In his mind, he thought about light. He spoke it with his voice. His spirit moved. I probably should add that too. You then begin to move on it, because if you read in Genesis 1, it says that the spirit moved. He said, let there be light, and then there was light. And so a lot of you're missing some of these components. You might even be seeing it to a degree, but you're afraid to say it, like if you're going to jinx it or something. Some of you are moving, but you don't even really know what you see, and you ain't even sure what you should be saying. Some of you are saying it and seeing it and knowing it in your heart and believing in faith because maybe you are intuitive and maybe God gave you some kind of revelation or something, but your spirit is not moving and coinciding with what it is that you desire. And some of you got your heart in the right place and your spirit is moving, but you don't even know exactly what you see. And I think it's really dangerous. Matter of fact, I know it's really dangerous for us to exist in a world where we basically act like we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to not know. And I know one of the reasons why a lot of us don't know is because we're taught that we don't know. Oh, I don't know the plans that God has for me. And yeah, I got to get churchy on you guys. I got to get churchy on you. There's a scripture in the Bible. Eyes have not seen, nor have ears heard, nor has it come into the heart of man what God has for you. And I remember one day somebody even gave me that as a birthday card. And I was just sitting there looking, and they were like, and they wrote on there, the best is yet to come. And I was just thinking to myself, wow, that was really sweet in thought. But I was like, she got me messed up. Oh, I know great things are coming for me. No, we won't know the full scope of everything because we're growing and being molded. We got to take things one step at a time. But most of us at least have the general big picture. And you can't be afraid to say that I'm going to be a world-renowned speaker, a best-selling author, the go-to coach, the designer of the year, whether that's websites, jewelries, clothes, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have to actually see it. And so I already knew years and years ago, I got a divine revelation that I would be a woman of influence and that my words would transition things for my people, especially for Black women. And so I've moved in a manner that said I saw it, even though I wasn't stuck on how it would become about or manifest. And so for those of you that have watched me, you've seen the combination of those things. You've listened to me say with faith. You're hearing me say with faith right now. August Crenshaw, even if I'm never on anybody's magazine, will be considered one of the most influential women, because I influence people to step into their greatness. You're listening to me say it, but then you're also watching me act upon it, whether that's here by listening to this podcast, or if you chime into a live video, if you read the books that I've read, or if you even see the way that I engage with my clients. And so the visualizing of that thing, you guys need to understand something that happened years ago, before I even totally understood what it meant to be a coach. And I was, back in the day listening to, Eric Thomas and Les Brown and, Tony Robbins. When I was doing those things, I remember I had written a thing, I put it on my wall, and I wish I would have kept it. But the basis of it was that I, August Crenshaw, promised to use my voice as a tool, and that no person that ever crossed my path will ever be the same. I would use it to uplift, enlighten, inspire. And I would read this to myself every day until it's soaked into my system. And it's soaked in my system. I don't read that statement anymore, but I live that statement. And so back to my client, she was so busy trying to make sure that she was crossing T's and dotting I's and wanting to give me a checklist of shit that she completed. And I'm like, but where's you? Where's the essence of you? Where's the essence of your spirit? And she let it, kind of come out that she was doubting some things and so on and so forth. And I'm like, Queen, you got to see yourself first. You got to see yourself first. You got to see that this is a reality and you have to move on it. So say it and see it and walk and act upon it before it actually manifests. And please don't misconstrue walking and acting upon it as just doing a bunch of shit to be busy. Like literally move off a divine inspired action and take the steps and go and move accordingly. So your faith muscles, some of you all say you got it, but you don't. You're kind of living and hanging on a prayer. And for those of you that follow me on Facebook, you saw I did a video the other day, and it shook some heads because I titled it I don't believe in prayer, and then put, and don't try to come for me. And the reason being because prayer is a petition. It's not progress. I hear people, I don't know where I would have been if it wasn't for my grandmama's prayers, and I ain't saying that, that isn't effective to it at all. But when you're talking about living out your dreams, don't you think that the Israelites prayed the entire time they were in the wilderness? But don't you also think that God was very frustrated? What kind of God y'all got that he got so pissed off? He said, well, if I ain't fit to kill him now, I'm just going to let them walk around in circles until they die off. And the generation that do want to do something, then when they gone, I'll let them move forward. Like, seriously, I be hearing people trying to talk about drinking and having sex and adultery, idolatry, and homosexuality. Yeah, I got something to say about everything other than the greatest sin, and that's to not live in your purpose. To not operate from the divine will of God. To not go after the land of milk and honey in your life is sin. To not go after the land of milk and honey is sin, and the wages of sin is death. Ask the damn Israelites. So listen, I understand that showing up authentically, knowing how to assess your value, not giving away so much shit for free, and being able to see yourself as that new thing, that it takes work. And some of you all have been listening to me on this podcast for too long to have not chimed in to actually working with me to help you get over your damn self. But it's okay. We'll take it in small bites. So head over to augustcrenshaw.com. I mean, no, sorry. I'm so habituated to saying it. Go over to workwithaugust.com. Yeah, and go ahead and tap into the case study. See if you feel in my vibe. See if it resonates with you. And then go from there. But it's time for us to elevate it. You got to see it, say it, and let the spirit move. Then it'll manifest. All right? I love y'all all. I love y'all all so very much. Until next time, deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomen.don't bitch podcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.